Obviously not to this extent, and I think the ceiling that Alex Eala has is obviously that much higher. And I'm going to bring in a little boxing here because my dad wanted me to be a boxer, but I chose tennis. But Manny Pacquiao.
Good call.
Manny Pacquiao, we saw him when he, was at the top of his game, and alongside Roger Federer, he actually had more pride.
Every attempt is being made by analysts. They're not going to hold back. They are not hedging their comments or qualifying their opinions with careful diplomatic phrasing. They're doing their hardest. Furthermore, Alex Eala is now considered the most well-known female tennis player in the world of the WTA, even before Indian Wells has started or the designs have been revealed. One name already dominates professional tennis debate. Alex Eala is that name. The greatest athletes of all time are saying the same thing and pointing in the same direction. The fact that Alex Eala is now the most famous player in women's tennis must be acknowledged by the sport. She is even ranked higher by experts than players who had distinguished careers and had a lasting impact on the sport. Everyone in the room was really shocked by what former Grand Slam champion Ana Ivanovic, who was sitting on the expert panel, stated. She claims that, throughout the course of a career, Alex Eala has achieved more reputation and fame than Sia Mira, and she handled it with the best respect, making it obvious that this is an open acknowledgement that the WTA has never seen anything like what Eala is giving in terms of global attention and fan devotion at this scale and speed, rather than a shot at the greats who came before. Then came Ana Ivanovic, who completely changed the situation. A woman who has won Roland Garros, a Grand Slam, and the top spot in the world rankings knows what it's like to be the focus of all sports attention. When Ivanovic came out and made a comparison, the tennis world came to a full stop. She compared Alex Eala's impact on the WTA to Manny Pacquiao's impact on boxing during his prime. Not only is she competing at the highest level, as she draws attention to herself in the sport, the whole world is leaning in. What Ivanovic went on to say was quite clear. If Alex Eala continues to play at her present level and go in the same path, nothing will stop her. Eala believes she has a chance to be at the top of the women's tennis rankings. She is already moving in that route with every game she plays and every court she enters.
I think that if Eala, can keep doing well with her tennis, who knows? The sky's the limit on the court, off the court. I mean, she could be rolling in it, if you will.
This is all the more intriguing since the experts are talking about more than just her results. They are talking about who she is. They are talking about her modest manner and genuine respect for the game and others in her immediate vicinity. She doesn't let the spotlight to overstate her triumph against Igo Swiatek, according to analysts. She handles the limelight with elegance, calm confidence, and a groundedness that encourages people to have even more trust in and support for her, just as the really great ones do. Genuine character and good tennis are rare. The sport searches for it and tries to locate it. But Alex Eala has it with ease.
Last year, when she beat Iga Swiatek, and she kind of did it with a lot of grace and humility, and it was really, for me, it was terrific to see her take that match and watch her play after that and watch her try to continue to progress, because I like her game. Obviously, she wants to get better than where she is now.
Then came Sam Querry, a former Grand Slam finalist who competed at the top professional tennis levels and has direct experience with the subtleties of the game. The remark made by Querry was clear and powerful. He claims that Alex Eala is now the biggest draw at the WTA. Neither among the biggest, nor in conversation with the largest. Total stop. He claims that she has developed a level of enthusiasm and attention-grabbing ability that distinguishes her from every other player on the tour in that specific and important area. An unmanufactured and unreplicable event occurs in the environment each time she walks onto a court. It's natural. It is authentic and entirely her own. Querry took it a step further and said something really shocking. He hypothesized that some of the top 10 players in the world, players like Aryna Sabalenka, women who have dedicated their entire lives to becoming the best in this sport, and women who have actually won the biggest titles this game has to offer, may be observing what is going on around Alex Eala and feeling a certain way about it. They are victorious. These women have reached every high point in the world of professional tennis. They have also seen that Eala is followed everywhere by a wave of admiration and attention, which they find hard to ignore. That degree of openness is necessary given the present condition of professional tennis, which is why Querry made this statement.
In women's tennis right now.
Yes.
Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco?
Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having, like, on the men's side last year in Miami.
It's like Fonseca, but I think it's bigger than Fonseca.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Like, the Doha, like, crowds were insane for her last week.
Yeah.
Correct.
She's definitely one to watch, obviously because she's so good, but just for the atmosphere. You want to tune into her matches just to see what it's like on the court.
There's got to be like a little jealousy maybe from some of the women, that girls coming in, she's not top 10. But
This is where things become even more confusing, since there are now more participants than just specialists and commentators behind microphones. The athletes are speaking for themselves. Jessica Pegula, one of the most well-known and experienced players on the WTA Tour, spoke about her brush with Alex Eala at the Miami Open. And what she said was just amazing. Pegula claims that when she entered the match, she was really taken aback by what she found. It was not what she had expected. She wasn't ready for the mood that had already been established at that facility before a single ball was struck. The crowd was enormous. The vibe was electric, loud, passionate, and emotionally devoted at every turn, in a way Pegula said she had not anticipated. When she used the word insane, she intended each syllable to express the highest respect. She wasn't complaining. She was amazed. She knew she was in the midst of something really significant. Then Pegula said something very significant. Whether it was in Miami, the Australian Open, or Dubai, she said that Alex Eala consistently attracted the most crowd support of any player on the tour. Not seldom, but consistently over several competitions, continents, and seasonal stages. Right now, she draws more fans than any other player. People travel specifically to see her. There are far larger lineups than at any other game for the chance to get inside the stadium for her performance. For years, professional tennis has worked to cultivate this kind of powerful magnetic bond between a player and a global fan base in new areas. And here's Alex Eala communicating it without the need of false marketing thanks to her talent, charm, and gripping story.
After week, as she has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her. And so I think we saw that in Australia when it was kind of overcrowded. They put her on too small of a court. We saw it here. You can hear it from the hotel. You can hear the crowd roaring, especially at night. So it's incredible.
The Australian Open demonstrated to the world how sincere this is. The competition had not seen anything like the spectacles outside the stadium during her games in a very long time. Many fans have congregated outdoors. People clung to the hope that they would be able to enter, and there were moments that seemed to go on forever. Many of them were never able to get in. They spent real money and time traveling to Melbourne and ended up standing outside listening to a crowd they couldn't join and hearing the cry of locations they couldn't see. But they continued because being close to it still had significance. That's how much Alexa inspires people. That's how far this goes. Novak Djokovic then contributed his voice to what had previously been spoken. The greatest tennis player in history. A man with the most Grand Slam victories in history. A man who has played professional tennis at every level imaginable for almost 2 decades. Djokovic turned to speak to Alex Eala, the greatest tennis player the Philippines has ever produced, said categorically that she deserves all the recognition and honors this sport can provide. He also openly discussed how her schedule and court assignments have been managed at various tournaments, saying categorically that, in his view, the management has not always reflected her true rank and drawing ability. When Djokovic says something like that, everyone in the tennis world pauses and pays attention. It's the greatest thing ever to say that Alex Eala deserves more, and that the sport owes her and her millions of fans fair treatment.
I mean, it's you could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's so young and she's just coming through. Alex Eala, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's a big interest.
There is consensus among analysts, current tour players, former Grand Slam champions, and the greatest player in history. The WTA's next big thing, Alexa, is the most talked about name coming into Indian Wells. Even before a single point is played, she is the one creating energy. And when she takes the court, everyone in the tennis world will be watching. Because that's what Alex Eala does. Everyone is watching her. I would want to speak with you right now. Do you think Alex Eala is now the most well-known player in the WTA? Or do you think the hype is more than her real accomplishments? Are you moved by a story like Anna Ivanovic's comparison of her effect to that of Manny Pacquiao? Or do you think it's overstated? What about the Miami Open description of Jessica Pegula? Have you ever seen a crowd this excited over a rising star? In the space provided for comments below, kindly express your thoughts. Is Alex Eala the real deal? Or should we hold off on making her the face of women's tennis until she consistently achieves this degree of success?